Hi everyone, this is Elena of Witches Box, and I'm here today with another episode of Witch Booktube, and today we're going to be talking about two books, because we are officially in probably what is the most favorite season and just time of year in the Northern Hemisphere. We are in October, Samhain is just 5 seconds away. We are all immersed in our fall colors, in leaves, and in hot drinks, and cozying up our living rooms and bedrooms. I have been obsessively watching YouTube, and I guess a bunch of people, influencers, I don't know who you all are, but you're all decorating your house for fall, and I have been obsessively watching all of these videos. We're in it. We're in this amazing season that we love so much, and these two books are perfect for this time of year. They are about Samhain, and I thought they were good companions together, and I wanted to get these books reviewed and out to you, but out for you to look at and potentially buy if you wanted to buy them, in order for you to kind of go into the season and to the Sabbath with a little bit more information under your belt if you want to add to your festivities. So the first book I'm going to talk about is a book that I've had for over a year. It is a book that I had every intention of doing a booktube review of last year, and I don't even remember what was going on last October, but it just never happened. And so the first book is Llewellyn's Little Book of Halloween by Mickey Mueller. Look at how beautiful this book. I love these little books that Llewellyn does. That little lavender book right there is another one of the little books that Llewellyn puts out that was chock full of information. In any case, I will maybe at some point link to that video below, because it's one of the books that I said you must get. But this book is also one of those books that you must get. Mickey Mueller did a beautiful job with this. This, to me, felt like this beautiful love letter to Halloween and all the history around it, the culture around it, the development of the holiday here in the United States, its origins, Samhain, ritual, recipes, craft, ideas. It's so much packed into this beautiful little book. Let me show you a little bit of the inside decor. It's a fairly quick read, but it comes with so much information. I'm pulling this out because, this is one of our bookmarker that we have been sending out with all of our book subscription boxes, but we're changing it up. We actually have 5 new designs that I am so excited about. Atrina Charles, who is our graphic designer, has made beautiful ones for us, and the new ones are going out for the November books. I just didn't even put that together, but there it is. Anyway, I love this. This is beautiful, and I use them in my books. So a love story. Love letter. Let me really quickly read Mickey's bio. But also, Mickey, if you're watching this, I'm so sorry that it took me so long to do this. I really had every intention of reading this book and putting it out there last year. I'm kind of sadly not remembering what was going on. Who knows? Here we are. Thankfully, we get this holiday every year, so please get this book. Is beautiful. But let me read you Mickey's bio. Mickey Mueller, Missouri, and it's parentheses, so I don't know if Mickey, your last name was Missouri at some point, and now you're Mickey Mueller, explores magic and spirituality through art and the written word. She includes magical herbal washes in her art that correspond with the subject, making every piece enchanted. That's beautiful. She's the author-illustrator of The Voice of the Trees, the illustrator of Mystical Cats Tarot, the co-creator of Magical Dog Tarot, and author of The Witch's Mirror. That is also a really beautiful book. Her art has been seen as set dressing on Sci-Fi's The Magicians and Bravo's Girlfriend's Guide to Divorce. I love that show. Visit her online at www.mickeymuellerart.com. There's that. Okay, first of all, if you love the holiday itself here in the United States, which is Halloween, which I think is also making its appearances and popularity all over the world at this point, get the book. What I thought was really beautiful is that it weaves together the history of what Halloween has become here and where it came from, but also Samhain and all of the Celtic and spiritual origins that have led us to where we are today. She also shares here how much she's loved the holiday since she was a little girl, but also the weaving of both. There is this idea out there that if you're spiritual and if you're a witch and if you're into the sacred walk and all this super stuffy, serious stuff, that you don't celebrate Halloween, that you do your Samhain ritual and that's it. I think that that's kind of bullshit. I really love this holiday because there is such a weaving of frivolity, celebration, fun, the mystical, the mysterious, the deeply magical, the deeply dangerous. All of these things are wrapped into this 1, 2, 3 days, depending on who you are and how you worship and how you practice. 3 days of so much that can be celebrated and enjoyed and experienced and risked and gained. It's a beautiful holiday because it brings together people who don't necessarily know all of what's going on around them on this holiday, but some of us do. And the ability to celebrate at these different layers, I think, is just phenomenal. It's a small part of why so many really love and feel an affinity for what this holiday is, for Halloween, for Samhain, for Hallows, for All Saints Day, for Day of the Dead. I mean, I'm in all of it. I grew up in a family where Day of the Dead was honored, where All Saints Day was honored, Dia de los Difuntos, like all of these things, and Halloween, and the candy, and the trick-or-treating, and the getting dressed up. I mean, there's so much to it. And this book talks about that in a really beautiful way, in a really fun way, in a really accessible way. It's also one of those books that I think that we should probably all have on our coffee table when this time of year comes around, because even if you're just kind of passing through and visiting a friend, you can kind of open this book and read something fun. There are recipes, activities, spells, really cute, lovely, beautifully done. Look at, I can't stop looking too at the cover and how beautiful the cover is. So there's this one. This is a great book for this holiday. I wanted to make sure that the review for this book came out at the very beginning of October so that if you want this, you can order it now. Links to all that are down below. Now, the next book is called The Sacred Herbs of Samhain, Plants to Contact the Spirits of the Dead by Ellen Everett Hopman. Another beautifully designed book. I mean, there's just beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Let me really quickly read to you Ellen's bio, and then we're going to go into this book. So, Ellen Everett Hopman is a master herbalist and lay homeopath who has been a Druidic initiate since 1984. She's a founding member of the Order of the White Oak, an Archdruidess and of the Tribe of the Oak, a former professor at the Grey School of Wizardry, and a member of the Grey Council of Mages and Sages. She is the author of several books, including Secret Medicines from Your Garden, and she lives in Massachusetts. Okay, this book is the companion to this as a choice that I made because, yes, Halloween, yes, Samhain, yes, the Day of the Dead, yes, this amazing holiday where so much deep work can happen. This is a great companion book for that because you have what is a compendium of sorts for all of the herbs and the botanicals that you can use in your rituals during this time of the year. This is a beautiful resource, a beautiful reference. I want to read to you the table of contents so that you know what is in this book, but it's a great addition and a great support during this time of the year, especially for those of you who are new and you haven't quite yet developed your own personal tradition or your own personal practices and rituals around this time of the year, but you're really hungry for it. This is a beautiful support for that and a lot of great information. This book is also great for those of you who are subscribed to the Witches box and got the Spirit Board box mailed to you for October. This is important because I think that this video is coming out around October 5th. Things are late. The U.S. Postal Service is super late. I'm going to be saying this across everywhere that I can, but boxes for this month will be late for sure, just because of things are just getting harder to get to us and things are getting harder to get to you. However, this book has a lot of information on the different herbs that you can use for your incense, for protective circles, for the practices that you would do with a spirit board, but also around this time of the year in terms of worshiping your ancestors, of connecting with those beyond, in terms of crossing the veil. This book has a lot of great information about that. You need to have this in your library, especially for those of you who are botanically inclined, who love working with plants. So let me come back to what I was going to say and read the table of content for you. So in the beginning, you got acknowledgments, you got an introduction to Samhain, the other world, and the power of herbs, and a primer on herbal preparation, which I think is fantastic. I really love it when books on herbs give you at least a reminder or a quickie 5-page, 10-page, hey, this is how you make a salve, this is how you make an incense, this is how you make a decoction, this is how you make all the different things. It's always good to have it in the book because sometimes we don't know, sometimes we're still learning. It's nice to have it here. So it has that for you. And then part 1 is Herbs of the Spirit and the Dead and how to use them at Samhain. And in that section, you've got herbs for protection from and communication with the spirits and fairies. Amazing. Herbs for purification, visionary herbs, and herbs of divination. Again, important, really powerful stuff. Herbs to communicate with, release, and honor the dead. This is the work of this time of the year, but also, honestly, the more I work with my ancestors, the more I recognize that this work is every day of the year, all year round. It's not necessarily just for Samhain, but this is also a really great place to start. This is also a really great place to like really go in deep and do like the big ritual. Beautiful. Okay. Can you tell I'm excited? Part 2 is herbs, foods, and traditions of Samhain. So in that section, you've got ritual foods for Samhain offerings, the dumb supper, history, modern paganism, and traditional recipes. This is a ritual that most people find incredibly nourishing and powerful and beautiful. It's one that I really recommend everyone at least do once, if not every year, the dumb supper. You can look that up on Google or you can get the book. So the next is how to conduct a dumb supper ritual. The other is a sample Samhain rite, the goddess at Samhain. That's section 2. And then there are a couple of appendices. One is offerings for the land and water spirits, and the other is offerings for the fairies at each Sabbath, which is great. This is a beautiful, beautiful book. She did an incredibly detailed job. There are recipes here for you to follow. And I'm loving right now, I'm really getting into botanicals because something is coming soon for you. And so because of that, I'm really loving the illustrations that Ellen provided and shared in here. Just look at how beautiful these are. So you get an idea of what herbs she's talking about, what they look like. Look at this. And you know me, I'm an illustration girl. I love all of this. Okay, one more, because I could do this all day long. But there are a couple of sections here where you see the botanicals that she's talking about in these illustrations, which I think is incredibly helpful. And they're in color, which makes it even better. So here you go. These 2 books, I highly recommend. Okay, I gotta show you again. Look at how beautiful. So these 2 books, beautiful, perfect for this time of the year. I'm not going to purposefully do this. Sometimes it's going to happen this way. Sometimes it's not, where I cover books on upcoming seasons and upcoming Sabbats that are coming up. As it happens, as I find books that are really, really good for that, I will share them with you, ideally before that season or holiday starts. I'm going to do this as I find really good books to share with you around Sabbath and holidays. However, I'm saying this because it's October 5th. The 2 books that are going out, this is all like super sneak peek, the 2 books that are going to be going out for the month of November, this is important with these dates, okay, are on Yule, wintertime, and the solstice, and Christmas, and the origins of Christmas and how they are rooted in paganism and all of the traditions and the beauty and the rituals and the work of that time of the year. So listen up, because this is it gets a little confusing with the dates. I'm always confused because I'm 2 months ahead of everyone and I'm still confused. Okay, so the books that we're sending out in November are for Yule, solstice, Christmas, and winter. That's for our book subscription. And the reason we're going to do that for November is so that you have it before you enter into the winter season in December. Okay, this is for the Northern Hemisphere, obviously. That said, today is October 5th. Listen carefully. If you want to be in, if you've been thinking, oh my gosh, I should probably join the book subscription, and I haven't, but I don't know what the books are, I'm going to say 2 things to you. One, if you want those books, you need to subscribe now before the 15th of October. You need to sign up now before the 15th of October. The link to that will be down below. Now, I want to say something else. To those of you who are like, I want this, but I don't. Oh my God, I can't believe I missed it. Oh my God, they sold out and I couldn't get the books. And just get in. Just join us. We're reading amazing books. And the whole idea is to trust the process. You're going to get the books that you need to get each month to read and grow and learn. Join us. We're having so much fun. And this, at least in the Northern Hemisphere, however, this actually makes sense. Well, this makes sense really all year round because I'm a reader. I love books and I want to spend the rest of my life reading, number 1. Number 2, it is such a cozy, cold season that reading tends to be the activity that we love doing curled up with a hot drink and a couch with a little blanket and you're reading and it's all amazing. But it's also, in the Southern Hemisphere, it's all about like what? I mean, I would be out in the sun, sunbathing, going to the beach, trying to hang out outside, and you read. it's time to read. We need to be reading as much as possible because education, I think, is probably more important now than ever. So join us. It's a lot of fun. This last month, we had 2 amazing books with an amazing author, and we learned so much. So join us. Stop saying, oh my God, I can't believe I missed it. Just jump on in before October 15th in order for you, because the 15th of each month is a cutoff. So in order for you to make sure that you get the November book, you need to subscribe before October 15th. So do it. So this Booktube review was about Samhain because it's coming up. But the next 2 books will be specifically about winter. So yes, please join us. I'm not always going to do the whole seasonal thing, but these books are really good and they're really rich with information and history and in mythology, and just they're juicy, beautiful, beautiful, lush books. So there you go. I think that's it. Samhain, winter. My to be read pile is getting juicy. It's getting really juicy. So stay tuned. Every week we're going to keep coming up with more videos for you, but I'm really excited about the next 2 seasons and what my reading is looking like, because I'm just, I don't know, I've amassed this really good pile of books. So you're going to be hearing about it. Also, those of you who are subscribed, get ready because we're going to be reading more amazing stuff. If you haven't subscribed to the book subscription yet, do it. Just come and join us and let's talk about books. Let's read together. Let's talk on the forums, and then let's meet with the authors and have conversations with the people who wrote these books. Please, it's so much fun. All right, please have an amazing, gorgeous Samhain, but I probably will speak to you before then because there's a lot more coming up. All right, take care of you. Bye.